Hey, what's up, guys? It is Ben 10,000 Yugioh, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero. And today I have a sidekick, the PillowKing.
What's up?
What's up, AA Ron? Yeah, you knew I was going to make that joke. You had to know I was going to make a comment. Cause...
I hear it at least every day, so...
Oh, okay, so you're like, yeah, nothing new.
Yeah, just a bit.
If it makes you feel any better, my real name is Brian, and I'm Junior. I'll let you go with what they called me in high school.
I don't know. Oh.
Yeah. I'll just let you figure that out. You'll figure it out later. So, the PillowKing here, guys, is a smaller content creator, much like myself. And I came across him, I want to say, in the Dinosaur Facebook group, I think. Because you do a lot of dinosaur deck profiles on your channel, I've noticed.
Yeah.
I think I saw something, like... I have your channel pulled up, by the way. That might be a bit cheating, but, you know... it's because, you know, I like to do a little bit of research about who I'm trying to interview, especially since, like I mentioned off screen, I made that faux pas, so now I'm trying to make sure I don't be an idiot again and be more prepared. So...
That's fair.
Alright, so I think the first thing we ought to do is get to know you a little bit. So, Aaron, how old are you? You know, what all do you bring to the Yu-Gi-Oh table? That kind of thing.
So I'm 21. I just turned 21 in September.
Woohoo! Drinking age. I mean, what?
Yeah, yeah. Weirdly enough, I didn't go out drinking or anything. I was actually just home doing more videos. So
I didn't either at 21. I'll be honest with you.
In terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, though, I started playing in I want to say when Judgment of Light came out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my first sneak peek with my friends. We were all at our friend's house, and we looked up, any tournaments that were nearby, and we found this place called Past, Present, Future, and I've been going there since I was, 14, 15 maybe. Mm-hmm. And I've been playing competitively just about ever since, I want to say, Necros format, when I got Necros.
Ooh, Necros format. PTSD. Yeah. PTSD. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I wasn't that good at that time, unfortunately, but my friend Yugioh taught me how to play a lot better NBA format and stuff, and that's when I really started kicking off.
Okay, so you're more of a competitive player then.
Yeah, for the most part.
Unlike me, who's a filthy casual. I'm over here with my Layer of Darkness Dark Magician deck, you know, like, I'm about to wreck a back row deck's day. And then I go up against Danger Dark World and they get wrecked me.
Listen, I love rogue decks a lot more, to be fair. To be honest, if you look earlier in my channel, maybe a month and a half ago, I was playing Appliancers, and I went there. No one had any clue what the deck did, and I went and stole I think it was top 4, and I lost in top 4 because of a brick, unfortunately.
Oh man, that's the worst, man. I feel like bricking, on the subject of bricking, I feel like it is that loss feels so much worse than when you get outplayed.
Yeah, I'd rather lose to them than lose to my own deck, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I play Blue Eyes and Dark Magician decks for the lulz. I feel you, trust me. I'm like, and Edo Pro is mean to me. I don't know what person at Edo Pro I've pissed off, but they're like, oh, you're playing Blue Eyes? For the next 5 games, you will open all 3 of the vanilla Blue Eyes in your opening hand. And I'm like, why? Why do you hate me? Flip the table.
Yeah, I actually played Blue Eyes when it was meta for a bit, but then I ended up just switching back to PK Fire. I played that deck until it died. It was so much fun. I don't know. I kind of miss it, and I'm happy that it got the support, actually. Mm-hmm. And I'm missing one of the tier scale before I start playing it in tournament.
Well, that kind of leaves me to my next question I was going to ask you about, because I have, like I said, I got a list over here of stuff to talk about. But, you know, since we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, the decks and stuff, what all kind of decks do you like, you know? Because these are kind of like get to know you questions, let the audience kind of know the person behind the screen.
Yeah. So the kind of decks that I like are usually control decks. There are very few combo decks where I really wanted to play them. Mm-hmm. So during True Draco format, I played it until it just died. Mm-hmm. I loved that deck. I took it to Nats, and I unfortunately was supposed to get top 64, but I ended up getting cheated in the last round. Mm-hmm. It was basically I did Disciples Effect, target 3 in the grave, and I told him I was thinking, and then I was like, okay, target these 3 instead, and then I shuffled the other 3, he calls Judge, The judge rules it in his favor, saying I cheated. I go to head judge, he says the same thing, and then the head judge ends up apologizing to me after. And I'm like, but that's not going to get me the win.
Yeah, it doesn't help after the fact.
That's what I'm saying. But as an overall, yeah, I like control decks, but I like really weird stuff too, like UA. I've been in love with that deck since release. Infernoid, I'm really known for playing that as well.
Okay. So you have your rogue decks that you like, your pet decks
Yeah.
I think that's a relatively common Yugi term. I think we all have our pet decks, and in my case, it's Lightsworn and Dinosaurs. So
Yeah. I have like right now I'm playing a combo like a Dragon Link. With the new set coming out though, I have like everything, so I'm just deciding what to play. Like I'm gonna play Zodiac Tri Brigade tomorrow at locals, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Well, that actually brings up to another thing I was going to ask you about. That's actually on my list. Is you've been going to a lot of locals and stuff. I know you make a lot of videos where you interview other people at your locals, and everybody's wearing a mask. Which, good job at your locals. Give everybody a round of applause for me, because I don't want to. I am I'm not willing to play games with the COVID, so.
Yeah, we're all Yu-Gi-Oh fiends. What can I say?
Man, that's some bravery I just don't got. And and I've got a mask. I don't leave the house without it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Speaking of mask, shameless plug here, guys. If you go to my Teespring in the description, you can get one that says Trickster on it with my logo. Just saying. I know, shameless plug. I had to. Oh man, somebody's watching this right now. That's gonna be watching this later, and they're gonna be like, "Oh."
Of course he did.
Of course I did. Yep, that's right. I'm gonna be like that one TikToker, bar none. Link in bio. But yeah, right. So what's your experience with playing Yu-Gi-Oh in the time of COVID? Because obviously we have no large events now. Everything's either been moved to remote duel, or it's all basically locals or independent tournaments. So.
Yeah, like right now, there's 3 locals near me. I only go to 2 though. I have my main shop I've been going to since I was a kid, and this other store called Prodigy Games as well. And we've been doing locals, but we've been following procedures, limiting the amount of people as well. We've been moving, keeping space between everybody's tables, making sure no one is watching other people's games, no crowds, just so we can all play the game that we love. And if people mess it up, we're gonna end up stopping it, of course. But as of right now, it's just we're still doing locals and stuff. And for me personally, I'm doing locals as well as online tournaments like the LCSs as well, just to keep playing and stuff.
Well, I typically only play on Edo Pro as of late, but but that's okay. At least there's Duel Links and Edo Pro. Everybody can get their Yu-Gi-Oh fix somehow.
Yeah.
Everybody needs their cardboard crack.
Yeah, right now as well. I use EdPro for all my videos for the most part, but for Dueling Book, I only use that for big tournaments I attend and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, Dueling Book's good for that kind of thing, though. It's because it gives you closer to the real experience with the fact, without actually being near each other. And then, of course, I like Edo Pro just because, it's like, you don't have to worry about procedural stuff and that kind of thing. And I also like the mute chat button on Edo Pro because I come across a lot of people who are meaner than junkyard dogs. So I'm like, dude, I'm not even winning. Why are you insulting me? I've had that happen on Edo Pro. I'm not even kidding. I've had some dude be like, "Screw you, scrub," and I'm like, "You're winning. Why are you being a jerk?"
Yeah, like, what did I do to you to deserve this? I'm just trying to play a fun deck.
I wasn't even winning. I was playing, like I said, I was playing against, in the joke example earlier, I was playing against a Danger Dark World player with my Layer of Darkness Dark Magician deck, and that deck is really only good against back row based decks like Sky Striker and Eldritch. So, yes, I took away his 1 Dark World dealings with my Eradicator Epidemic Virus, and then he proceeded to just start slinging monsters at me, and I had no way to stop him because it's Dark Magician. The best I can do is set out and I mean I'm playing the budget cheap stuff because I practice with what I can afford.
Of course, yeah.
So, no, there's no Dragoon in this monstrosity.
Okay.
At least in my personal version. I mean, I did make one for a video, so people could, kind of get an idea how to play the more competitive version of that. But yeah, that guy was being a jerk to me, and he was winning. I'm literally staring down like Bigfoot, Thunderbird, big Dark World dude, and I'm like, I have a lowly Dark Magician by himself.
He's 2,500 attack. How do I kill this?
I'm like, I'm about to get my face stomped in. I've seen this movie, and it didn't end well for that guy. That's all I'm saying. Oh man. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough dogging on Edo, bro. So, but what all kind of content do you create? Do you just do competitive content, or
No, I do just about everything. In reality, I just want to do videos that I like to see.
Okay.
That was like the main goal. So it can be anywhere, like from rogue decks to advice to just competitive decks as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing the rogue decks a lot more because honestly, making the videos is always more fun.
Mm-hmm.
It does take a little longer usually, if I'm being honest, especially because with the rogue decks they're a little harder to, I guess, get the win rate up. Unfortunately, because it's just when I'm playing. For example, what was the deck I was playing? Tri Brigade or Zoo.
Yeah.
I'm going against Dragon Link players and they set up Buster and the Buster Lock and I can't really do much versus that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can only draw so many hand traps. But as an overall, I try to do like as much as I can, from like I said, advice to deck profiles and everything else in between.
Yeah. Okay, so you got a little bit. So you're kind of like me in that aspect. We got a little bit of everything. I've got a few. In my case, I've got a few top 10s. I've got a lot of rogue decks, but I also like to throw out like the best version I can. Or if I come up with something unique, here's this interesting thing. And the idea is like, you as the viewer can take that and mess around with it to your liking. That's the kind of decks I like to build around here. And then, and I see you've got a variety on here. Like I said, I've got your channel up on my screen over here. They can't see it though. That's okay. By the way, his link will be in the description. Make sure you sub to the PillowKing. If you don't, I will have to turn you into a Karibo. That's another thing I do is skits. I don't know if you've seen my channel or not, but yeah, I do skits too sometimes. So we got to make jokes with the whole watch. They'll see me turn into like a cyber dragon or something.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because if I'm gonna be the Ben 10 of Yu-Gi-Oh, I should at least turn into something once in a while.
Exactly. You have to be true to the character, of course.
It's hero time. Yeah. Oh yeah, I parody that. Oh man, that poor character. and most of my skits are real simple. It's just me getting tossed around by a Yu-Gi-Oh monster usually. So you just see me going fly across the screen or something.
Yeah, no, I've checked out your content for the most part.
Oh, okay, so you know what I do. Never mind, I didn't even tell you anything. But I was going to say is like to the audience, like you have a variety. Like I'm not just seeing competitive. Like I see Dinosaur, I see Dragon Link. I also see things like Guru. I'm seeing some Invoked. I'm seeing some Salad.
Yeah, there's Dual Avatar. There's a lot of stuff on there.
I see BA already.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite ones.
Yep. I see some Monarch, some PK, some Orcust. You got it all, man. You're all over the place. And I can tell you've got people like people from your locals and stuff.
Yeah, those are my favorite kinds of videos, especially because I'm able to show the person as well. And if you watch the videos, like especially with there's a Rocket Eldritch Dogmateka video, you can tell like when we're watching it, even with the one I'm in as well. We always have fun when we're playing, joking around as we're doing the deck profile and stuff, and it's always a hootenanny of a time.
A hootenanny.
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't heard that one in a bit. Oh man. Of course, I'm a little older than you, so that's why I'm like, oh man. Oh man. But that's awesome though. Like I don't know, I dig it. So I am very curious. What inspired the name PillowKing?
So when I was younger, basically when I was younger, I was a big fan of Adventure Time, and In the show, there was one episode where they visit the Pillow Kingdom, and they had a PillowKing, and that's really all it was. To be honest, it was nothing too crazy. That's
interesting.
That's where. Yeah, I use it for literally everything I do now with gaming, my Discord channel, everything now.
Hey, who am I to judge, man? I'm a parody of a famous superhero. So, I'm the grown-up Ben 10 if he played Yu-Gi-Oh. Even though I completely have a different background for the character than the actual Ben 10.
And tomato.
Yeah, it's all good. But I was gonna say, actually, funny enough, I was talking to a family member about it, and she thought that your channel name, was a reference to that what was his name? He was a buddy of Donald Trump, the president, who sells pillows for a living. And
I have no clue.
Yeah, I think his company is called the PillowKing or something like that. And
No.
I was like, well, and it's the PillowKing, you know what I mean? Like, it's all one word or whatever. So it's like, I was like, and I was telling him, I don't think that's the reference, because I checked out your Facebook page a little bit, I did a little bit of Facebook stalking. Sorry.
That's fine. You can see, for the most part, I'm not exactly a big fan of Trump, so it wouldn't be from there.
Oh yeah, I saw the memes. I was like, man, that's some spicy stuff, though.
Yeah.
I'm not a Trump supporter at all. I'm pretty sure that the audience here that knows me knows that that's not news. I can't stand the big orange galoot, but
Oh, yeah, I'm not exactly a fan of him either.
Think I'm in the world, let me tell you. I totally won this election. I thought this has been the best election ever. Except the part where I'm losing. That's fraud.
Yeah, those mail-in ballots really killed him, to be honest, because he was telling everyone, don't do them. They're bad, and then he's wondering why he didn't get any. He should have been doing them, and then he probably would have got more votes. I think Biden still would have won regardless.
Yeah.
But
Hashtag facts. Oh man, golly! I'm sitting there like, you told him not to vote by mail, dumbass.
Yeah, and he's wondering why all these votes are going to Biden.
That's just one of many headaches that could be caused talking about that man. Anyway, so we'll get to more of the heavier stuff here in a little bit, like talking about the election and our experiences with COVID and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna get to more of the fun stuff for now. Forgive me, by the way, if I know you're not familiar with this part. I tend to jump around in these kind of videos. So even though I give you all the questions, I don't really have a plan out as far as okay, this question first, then this question. I just have a list and then I just kind of throw them out there.
That's all good.
Yeah. So the idea here, so it's more of an outline than a definitive. No, we have to go to 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a TikTok.
Yeah, I have a TikTok.
So do I. Don't worry about it. Speaking of that, guys, you should follow both of our TikToks. Just saying.
Link in the description below.
Link in bio. Sorry. Oh man. So on TikTok, what kind of content do you bring over there? I know that I do different content over there than what I do here, so I'm just curious. And I know yours is a little different there too.
Yeah, so on TikTok I really only do gaming stuff. Mm-hmm. I originally had made the TikTok because my friend Chris was teaching me how to video edit and stuff, and that's the way he was showing me. He's TikTok videos are easy to edit, and that's really how he showed me how to use the app I use for video editing, DaVinci's Resolve.
Okay.
And stuff, and that's what it was really for, and I still use it to practice editing and stuff like that, so I post on there every so often and stuff, but It's really just gaming, not really Yu-Gi-Oh related.
Yeah, mine isn't either. I usually just, here, I'll show you real quick. I don't even have to leave because this is all I do. And then it's the black and white filter, and I pose as a vampire, and most of them are D&D jokes.
Oh, you play D&D?
A little bit. I'm more of a. I've only played a few times, but you know what I mean. But I have an interest in it, is what I should say.
I'm the same as well. I played it a couple times, and every single time I played it, I've had a lot of fun, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
But My the guy who I think he's called the Dungeon Master, the one who we had doing his name was also Aaron. He ended up having to leave because he had like a prior campaign going already with other people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we weren't able to finish it.
Yeah, I've only played like twice that I can remember, and I don't even remember what I was the second time. Because I think I was... Because I remember... Well, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament happening at the same time. So... And I thought I had more time to play around with them with the little D&D campaign. So then we had to... we just axed my character, basically. We're like, we was like, okay, my character trips and falls into a canyon and dies. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, guys, I gotta go to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, bye. And they were like, ah. So I was there for maybe like an hour, and then, so they axed my dude. It was just easy. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then,
yeah, that's fair.
And then the first time I played, I was a rogue that was also a vampire, so that's where that comes from. It's from the first time I played D&D. And I had what was the best beginner's luck on the planet. And my guy was level 1. It was an already started campaign. They were just kind of letting me jump in as just for the lulz of it, like as a character met along the way.
Yeah.
So it was only a one-time thing, but they still needed to do stats. So they had me roll dice to get stats, and I kept rolling like the highest numbers you get. Was like they were having me roll 20s everywhere, and I'm sitting there like, so my dude was level 1 and stronger than everybody else in the party who had been like at level 8 at that point, and I was like. I'm sorry, guys. And they're just like, this is ridiculous. And then they realized halfway through the night, when we were done, that they calculated my stats for human stats instead of vampire stats because I was a vampire rogue. And according to the book they had, I was actually stronger than that they initially had. And my character, I was like...
It's not my fault. I just rolled the die.
Exactly. Literally, I just dropped the die, and it was like, oh, yeah, here's a D20. Then they also had me like roll like a few like 6-sided dice. They were like, here's 2 6-sided die, roll them. So I just kept going. Fucking, my dude was beefy. For a vampire, he was beefy. And then like they said, okay, you get 1 magical item. I was like, okay, I get a cloak so I don't burn up in the sun. Was like that makes sense. Vampire.
That's fair.
A practical magical item, I would think. But yeah, so there you go. That's where my TikTok character comes from, because so you're doing like more of gaming and stuff like that, and I'm over here being a goob.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I really wanted to play more D&D. Like whenever I play, I'm always like a dwarf warrior kind of. And last time we played, I was able to pick like one magic item, of course, and it was I just told him, give me gauntlets, like give me super strength. So I was literally had the max strength I could ever have, and I was just beating everyone with one hit. I wanted to be One Punch Man, but in dwarf form. That was the goal.
See, my goofy ass thought of like Iron Man from like Avengers. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. That's what I pictured. Only it's a dwarf instead of Iron Man.
Yeah, and the only like the biggest thing that we were doing was one of the campaigns we were doing. We were in a haunted house. I forgot what we had to do. We were in a haunted house, but whenever we would visit a room and I saw a sheet, I would take it and tie it on myself as a cape. By the end of it, we counted it. I had 103. It was actually insane.
Oh god. See, that's the fun part about D&D is the shenanigans. The like, let's see what ridiculous thing that makes no sense for anyone to do, even in this world, and then just see what randomness can come of it. So, and in my case, I think we were fighting a werewolf too. So I was like, and then and that's the funny thing is in my campaign that was what was funny is they, like I said, halfway through we're fighting some kind of werewolf creature. And they forgot, oh yeah, wait, you're a vampire. You can see this thing. The DM was like, oh.
It could have been so much easier.
Yeah, the DM was like, oh no. He was mad because he forgot. Because the DM forgot, oh yeah, vampires can see at night. I don't even remember what edition or anything. Like, I'm still learning things with D&D.
Oh yes,
I just have a deep interest in it.
Yeah, right now we're looking for another person to do the Dungeon Master stuff so we can start playing it again and, consistently, because I have Fridays and Saturdays off. So Fridays I do what I want, and Saturdays I'm always at locals. So
Yeah. So, if you don't mind me asking, since you were talking about being off, do you mind telling the audience what you do for work? It's okay if you don't want to talk about it, by the way.
no, yeah, you're all good. So right now, I work at a call center
Okay.
as just a sales rep and stuff like that. I was a manager before, but I went back to being a sales rep because the money was better.
Okay.
And stuff like that. But right now, I was working on I'm going to be going to the police academy actually
Oh.
to do training. I wanted to become a state trooper, but we're going to see where it goes.
Okay.
I want to do the training first and see how it goes. But right now, yeah, I'm at a call center, but I want to be a cop as of now.
All right. That's what's up. It's, I mean, law enforcement can be a noble profession if you do it right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I think me bringing in like a more leftist point of view will be a little bit better.
Yeah.
In regards to it.
You might make make an honest cop.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just jabbing. I have a few friends who are involved in law enforcement, so I'm always, poking the bear, if you will. So nothing new for them. So what all interests do you have outside of Yu-Gi-Oh? Since I know we kind of mentioned that a little bit with D&D and other video games, like what all do you do like outside of Yu-Gi-Oh? What are some other things that interest you?
Yeah, like I said, a big one is video games, of course. I've always been interested in them since I was younger. I used to work out a lot, actually. Not as much anymore because of COVID.
Oh, what,
but
you mean these guns right here? No, I'm just kidding. I don't work out at all.
I really love traveling, and actually Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the thing that got me into that, traveling and stuff. So now I travel, when I can, but COVID has put a stop to that. I have a trip planned for England, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be in July of next year, as long as travel bans are up and COVID isn't where it is.
Yeah. Well, speaking on that, I did hear something about like they have a vaccine that's looking like it's not finished yet. They're not finished with it, but it's looking good. They're saying like so far in testing, it's like 90% effective. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, hopefully, that we actually are able to get it. And then at that point, it's all about distribution, how they're going to do it, if it's going to be free.
Yeah.
Biden says he'll make it free, so hopefully we can do that.
Yeah.
It's really just about getting it to the people, and also there's going to be people who don't want to take it. It's going to be a whole thing. Like, it's going to be rough.
The real world. This is why I'd rather be a vampire fighting a werewolf in D&D any day of the week than a real person fighting. I can fight a werewolf. I can't fight a virus. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or human stupidity.
But yeah, other than that, I wanted to start music. I have some guitars actually over there. Mm-hmm. 3 of them, and I have my friend Jael teaching me how to play and stuff like that. And I do like to sing a lot as well, but my voice is a little strained, so I haven't been able to do it recently. I'm not good at it, but I like to do it.
You know what? I feel the same way. That's how I feel about drawing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I draw a little bit, and I write a little bit. So, and I'm not good at it, but it's it's not necessarily about being good at it. So.
Yeah, as long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters, in all honesty.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do is I relate to you in that, being like enjoying something that you're not particularly good at.
Yeah.
Like in my case, Yu-Gi-Oh! Not particularly good at it, but I do enjoy it. I would enjoy it better if Konami would stop making cards like Dragoon, but hey.
When Dragoon came out, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, how did they print this card and just let it... How did they release this card? But it's...
Yeah, it's a behemoth of a monster. It wouldn't bother me so much if it was really only Red Eyes and Dark Magician that could play the damn thing. They wouldn't bother me. But because of Anaconda, everyone's like, I play one Red Eyes Fusion, I play one Dark Magician, I play one Red Eyes, and now I have Dragoon in everything.
Yeah, I was playing him in my my Dragon Link deck at first.
I mean,
but
he's a powerful card. I don't even I can't even fault you. I really can't. Just because I hate I'll be honest with you, I hate the card. But good is good. There's no arguing that.
Oh yeah, that card is literally bonkers for no reason. I did end up cutting him as an overall though, just because, for one, if I played him, I used my entire extra deck up. literally all 15 cards are used in my turn 1. So I had to stop playing him. And plus, Dragon Link bricks a lot more than people think.
Really?
Because that deck is a pile of bricks.
Man, I must be up against the best Dragon Link players on Pro then. Because every time I'm like, I could show up with a Buster Blader deck and that fuckers will still find a way to hand loop my ass.
Yeah, I play it a little bit differently. Because I like to play Smoke Grenade, but I don't play Violent Cube with it, actually. I just play Smoke Grenade. If I draw it, I draw it. If not, I do regular combo.
Sorry about
It's
that.
like, no, you're all good. Because I like playing like the Red Road Dragon and the White Road Dragon, because those cards are just broken for the deck. The generic Dragon cards. Why would we not want to touch those?
Right.
But to be honest, like I said, trust me, that deck is a giant pile of bricks. There's a bunch of one-ofs that you just never want to see, and it just...
So adding Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon to your list of potential bricks is just not worth it.
Yeah, and I drew Red Ice Fusion way too much. Especially, I played a common, and I drew it so much, and I just got tired of it.
Common would be all I could afford. I'm straight up. I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
No, yeah, I was never gonna pay $40 for that super rare Red Ice Fusion when my common $2 one does the same.
Yeah, that's how I felt about. That's pretty much how I feel about everything Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm like, is there a cheapo print? I'll take the cheapo print. I am.
Yeah, for me, it's like there's very few things that I like to get max rarity. Infernoids are one of them. I wanted to make sure I got everything, like the ulti TRs for the fusion, the ulti Anunkus, all of that stuff, because that's my favorite deck of all time. So I was like, you know what, I'll spend the extra money just for this when I got my taxes.
I'm very much of the opposite. I like to common out a deck if I can, just to annoy the rarity whores. So when they see like a common card of like something they have like an ultra rare of, they're like,
"Excuse you, was that a common?"
It's like, that a filthy common.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing with Eldritch. I used to have the Eldritch stuff, but I ended up selling it to my friend, and I wanted to pick it up again because I really like that Zombie World Eldritch deck. It looks like a lot of fun.
Man, I played against that playing dinosaurs. Just ouch. That's all I'm going to say. Ouch.
Yeah. It's a really rude deck. So.
It's so vicious. And it's like, oh, you do anything? Negate. And of course, all my monsters are zombies now, so miscellaneous is useless.
Yeah. That was another reason why I love Dinosaurs so much. Like, I was playing it right when it came out, but I just have a hate for it right now. Miscellaneous is way too good right now, but I don't want them to hit Miscellaneous. I'd rather them just hit like Overraptor or something.
Honestly, like, I don't think that either of those needs to get hit. I've made a video about it, what I think should get hit from Dinosaurs if they're going to hit it at all. But they're not going to hit the card I think that should get hit. I think they should hit the Bubble Dinosaur, Argosaur. Because
yeah, they're not gonna,
they're not going to hit it because it's too new, but that would be the card to hit, logistically speaking, because what does Miscellaneous go get you then at that point? It gets you Jirac-Ayalo.
Yeah, and I'm just not going to play Dinos at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're probably right. They'll probably just copy the OCG if we're being realistic. They'll copy the OCG, what means we'll see Fossil Dig to 2, Pankratops to 2, and Oviraptor to 1, and it is what it is.
I'll take 2 Pankratops. I'll be happy with that.
Well, they did 1 at first, and then like here, and then they brought it to 2 recently. So, but we'll see. We'll see what Konami does. They've been sometimes they full blown copy the OCG. Sometimes it's just a handful. I mean, who knows?
That's definitely true. I think Dragon Link finally they're gonna hit it. Hopefully they just hit what is it? It's LP, the one that LP summons from deck. Yeah, hopefully they hit that, and it's not gonna kill the deck, but it's gonna make it significantly weaker.
Personally, I'd rather just hit the damn smoke grenade, but that's just me being hateful. At least I'm honest.
No, yeah, I have a genuine hate for that card as well. Don't worry.
I personally want to limit and hit all the hand loop stuff, but that's just, like I said, that's just me being petty.
No, yeah, I think they should as well, but I just hate going against Infernoble if I'm being upfront with you.
Yeah.
Against them, it's just I whenever I play against it at locals, I'm just like, do you have 2 warriors? Yes. Do I have another 3 hand traps? No? Alright, you can have the game. Let's go to the next game.
And then you're like, hey, I'm going first. I'm gonna wreck you now. And then game 3, you're like, hand traps, hand traps, hand traps.
Yep.
Biscuits.
Especially because I play a 60 card variant of the deck, so it's rough. Yeah, I have I think it's 25 hand traps in going second. So
damn.
Yeah, I play a lot of them. I don't like getting hand looped, so I try to avoid it.
Yeah, unfortunately, hand traps are kind of a necessary evil. I'm not gonna lie, I've always been kind of like hand traps. Even back in when we go as far back as Gores,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the first big hand trap, and I remember I used to hate that card with a passion. I was like, you know what I mean? And then as time has gone on, I'm like, it's not so bad. And then now that we have things like Ash Boss and an Imperm, I'm like, nope, Gores is great. Gores can come back.
Come on, just start playing Gores again. Just get rid of Ash and Imperm.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah. Oh, I don't think Gores would see play today. To be honest, even if it was only 3 hand traps existed or whatever, let's say it was Ghost Over, Effect Veiler, and Gores, I'm pretty sure Gores wouldn't see play.
Oh no one would be playing Gores. Unfortunately, he's too slow. Yugioh's evolved way too much, too quickly. So
yeah, I mean, speaking on that, what's your opinions on the evolution of the game? I'm just curious. Do you think the game has gone too quick? I mean, I've also noticed, just to add a little bit more context to the question, I've also noticed that it seems like Konami's releasing some of the newer cards just aren't quite as crazy as they have been beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
The sneak peeks for next year's sets all seem pretty their cards are good. They're interesting. They're powerful, but they're not they're not Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've noticed that, and I was kind of wondering what your thoughts are.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Right when Lynx hit, I think that's when Yu-Gi-Oh! Took the biggest jump. Obviously, actually, no, that's a lie. When Pendulums hit, that's when Yu-Gi-Oh! Took a big leap. Yeah. That was a rough format, with Cleese, triple skill drain. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is moving. It's gonna happen to all card games. The card game is gonna evolve eventually, especially with Konami. The game usually goes according to the show. As we all know, so they have to release usually a new summoning mechanic every single time, unfortunately. I think Lynx, I didn't like him at first, but I think it's just easier synchro summoning. It made the game a lot more fun, a lot more skillful as well. We're not just back in the day, we're locked into maybe an XYZ and a monster we just can't get rid of. Now we have the option to link it off, keep playing. I think the game is fine where it is. I'm happy that they're paying attention and banning cards that needed to be banned, like Firewall, Goblin was insane. Whatever that Earth Elemental Lord was, I'm happy that they're paying more attention.
Grand Soil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that they're paying more attention because, I'm sure we're going to be getting more cards that are similar, not similar, but broken cards like Firewall Dragon, so cards of that nature. And I like the way the game's going, and I'm just happy that Konami's actually paying attention now, except for Needle Fiber. For some reason, they're just ignoring it. They're hitting everything around Needle Fiber. I don't like that, but at the end of the day, I think they should just ban Needle Fiber. I'm tired of that card. I'm sorry.
Also, now that I think about it, Needle Fiber is kind of what facilitates, a lot of the toxicity we're seeing, in Dragon Link and Infernoble. So I would argue that maybe hitting Needle Fiber would be the solution. Maybe then cards like Smoke Grenade don't have to go because then they're just not quite as consistent or as good.
Yeah, Needle Fiber just makes everything easier. That's my biggest against Infernobles in particular. I'm okay, one hand trap is usually never enough because they have one extender. I'll imperm the Easel to affect a special summon, and then we'll summon a tuner, summon Hulk, and they'll do everything anyway. And I'm just wow, I just accomplished nothing.
Yeah, the only hand trap that I have successfully stopped an Infernoble Knight player with was where it was one hand trap that completely saved my bacon, and it was Token Collector.
Oh yeah, that another good hand trap that works flawlessly against them almost all the time is No Material. I started siding that card, and when they summon Easel, you just No Material it, and they just sit there and cannot play.
There's something
yeah. and it's always just pass, and then I just do dragon combo, and then they're dead. Like, it's nice.
Oh man, that's what's up. So I'm gonna mark that off. I was just curious about that because, like, you know, it just seems like next year's set seems very the next few sets seem very tame. So I feel like that Konami's about to go into more of a more balanced, a quote unquote balanced format. I think if I was a betting man, I'm betting by 2021 because what I'm thinking is they're thinking we're going to get a vaccine for COVID by next year. So I think what Konami's doing is they're going to go ahead and let us have the BS that is Dragoon right now and Halka-Fibrax right now. And then I think what they're going to do is they're going to ban the crap out of all the hyper broken shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean the hyper broken, not broken, because, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be something that's the best. You know, there's no complaint. There's no getting around that. But I think that there are cards that are above broken, if you want me to be honest, and cards like, you know, Dragoon being splashed into everything, combo, and cards like Halka-Fibrax are kind of the examples of those kinds of cards. Because, I mean, literally, Halka-Fibrax leads to 2-card combos that build an entire board without you using the remaining 3 or 4 cards in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Dragon Link has, like, 3 1-card combos, I think, and that does the whole board without failure. And it's wonderful.
And then you could also potentially have, like, on top of this board of negates, you've possibly hand looped your opponent for, like, 2 cards. And then and then you might have a hand trap on top of that. So you're like, I don't even have to use my negates. And then your opponent's sitting there like, no, that's it. I'm just going to end my own misery. Or in my case, what I do is I mute the chat and then I scream profanities at my computer. Son of a bitch! And it's just like, and then I'm gonna boo, and then I'm gonna shove it right in the boo. Yeah, that's it. See, this is why you'll never see me play Yu-Gi-Oh live, probably, because that'll be the one time I slip up and just start screaming shit. Put your Hulk private. Dang old Decepticons messing up my hands. I'm telling you, when I get angry, that's when my southern accent only comes out when it really, like I have one, but it really comes out thick when I'm angry. I like turn into borderline Boomhauer from Hank of the Hill. Like, dang old son of a bitch. This is some bullshit. I seen Transformers and then dang old son of a bitch. I know things. There you go. There's the hilariousness that is the Ben 10 of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, boom.
I'm just glad you understood that reference. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I say some of that reference and some of the younger millennials of our generation look at me like, what the heck is Hank of the Hill?
That show was wonderful. I actually joined a group for them recently to get more memes, and it's been just a hootenanny of a time.
That reminds me, I saw a TikTok the other day where they like stitched together a conversation from Cell from Dragon Ball Z and Bobby from, and he's like, and Cell's like, what are you going to do, huh? And he's like, I don't know you. Let go of my purse.
And he just kicks it.
Right? And then you just see Sal. Oh! And I'm just like, I can't believe somebody stitched that together on TikTok. How the hell did you do that?
See.
There you go. There's that ridiculousness I have seen. But so do you have a favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monster? I mean, I imagine everybody does. I'm just curious. Do you have a favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monster?
So, for my meme Yu-Gi-Oh monster is Beaver Warrior. I love that card. It's hilarious. Or Mushroom Man. Those cards are hilarious. But my actual, it's a tie between.
You watch with all the retrains that keep happening to Yugi's monsters. You just watch. There's going to be a Beaver Warrior archetype in a year or two.
That's what I've been waiting for. I have a list built out for it already. Trust me, I have like a Beaver Warrior Phantasme deck literally just waiting.
You know what? I'm not judging. I'm over here just waiting for Konami to let Blaster off the ban list. Like, please, let me have my dragon back.
I would be very happy. I'd be playing Infernoids a lot more. But my actual like favorite cards, it has to be between Dante and Infernoid Decatron. I grew up playing BA basically, and I played it for like a year and a half, and I still kept playing it and stuff randomly. But I don't know. My favorite deck's Infernoids, and Decatron has always been clutch for me, so I just love that card to death.
That's what's up.
I think the art for the whole deck is just amazing.
Which is kind of funny that they're fiends, because they all kind of look like robots to me.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like trash fiends. So
yeah, it's like, I'm looking at them and I'm like, that's a robot. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is weird like that, though. There's tons of monsters that, like, you look at them and you're like, that's not a dragon.
Yeah.
Or that's not a dinosaur. Like,
those are robots. Those are birds. That's not a dragon.
Yeah, exactly. There's tons of monsters like that in the game. Like, I look at Two-Headed King Rex and I'm like, yeah, that's totally a dinosaur.
Yeah, like, that's not a dinosaur. Calm down.
Look at that thing. That thing's a dragon. All right, that thing's a poser. I'm a Giant Rex is a poser. Tweet. I'm just kidding. I should tweet that out later. Watch people be like, I don't get it. And I'm like, watch tomorrow's episode, you will. Oh, man. That's another thing I was going to say, though. Like, I've noticed you're actually on a lot of social media, but you don't really, I know you're on Twitter, but you don't have anything posted yet.
Yeah, I actually just made that because someone asked me to do, like, a video series. Mm-hmm. And...
Oh, that's right. The Death Machine, right?
Yeah, he wanted me to do stuff with kaijus, and I definitely don't mind doing it. It's just what he's asking. It's gonna take like a while for me to actually make it. He wants me to do something specifically with Godzilla and stuff, and I don't mind doing it. It's just gonna take a minute, and that's really all it is. It's just gonna be basically a kaiju deck, and getting in a little more like the lure of like Godzilla and how it relates to each of the other kaiju cards, which I thought was kind of cool. And stuff like that. And I also made a Discord as well that I started putting in my what's it called, in my descriptions, and I started commenting it as well. So I'm going to try to get utilize that more and Twitter more to reach out to people and stuff like that, because I noticed a lot of people want me to like do decks, but they have no way to show me.
And also there's like a huge like Yu-Gi-Oh! Twitter is starting to grow. Like a lot of us, especially with us tubers. A lot of YouTubers are on there. Like pretty much, I'm pretty sure. Like I want to say 9 out of 10 of the tubers that I have had on the series Behind the Screen, the one we're making right now, all of them have come from Twitter. All have Twitter accounts. So, Twitter, Yu-Gi-Oh! Twitter is becoming a thing. I mean, I'm gonna be shocked if someday we're all just like, haha, look at this Yu-Gi-Oh! Meme.
That's a video I wanted to make. I wanted to make a Yu-Gi-Oh! Meme video. Where I look at like a meme review, I guess, because I love some of the memes.
You could just go to my channel and you could just screenshot that and be like, look at this walking meme. He's over there screaming about Decepticons fighting invisible robots. I mean, golly, my neighbors must think I am insane. That's all I'm saying. They see me in the backyard and I'm over here swinging a sword at the air. They're like,
what's going on? That boy ain't right.
There's literally the lady on my right is an old woman. She's one of the teachers from my old high school, and she sees me in the backyard swinging a sword. And I swear that lady looks at me with that coffee. She's just like, "He ain't right. There's something wrong with that gentleman." I knew him when he was a boy. He wasn't so crazy back then.
Look at him now, swinging a sword in his backyard, yelling about who's a what's it.
I'm yelling about Decepticons. I see Transformers and know things.
Oh,
there you go. Somebody's gonna watch this and be like, "Oh my god,
what is going on?"
They're gonna be like, Ben 10 is crazy, and they'll be like, "You right?
Yeah, you're right. I'm having fun though. That's all that matters."
I'm just saying, you'd have to be insane to be like, you know what? I'm gonna build a Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel around Ben 10. That's all I'm saying. You got to be a little off.
Hey, it's working well so far, so I can't say nothing.
Yeah, I'm a pretty... people like the goob factor. I think that's what it is. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. I can be... I knew that my role on the internet was going to be a clown. Some people are educators. Some people are, you know, they are informative, competitive players in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm over here like, let's combine Layer of Darkness with Dark Magicians.
See where that goes.
See where that goes. I have all sorts of these crazy things. I've got Fire King dinosaurs. I've got invoked blue eyes. Yeah, I've got all. That's my whole shtick on here is just decks that work in weird ways, and they work, but they like it's kind of like why how what people. That's the question I get asked is like, what possessed you to go see if this works? I'm like, well, I'm poor.
Well, listen, that's where the best decks come from. When you don't have all the cards, you start to think of like the most crazy combos, and it's
like, yeah, that's
really?
the people who are watching. They're like, holy shit, I didn't think about that. I'm not saying like for example, like yes, Volcanic Island does the same thing as the Dragonic Diagram. You destroy a card, you go search the correlating archetype. But it's just that the True Kings are better than the Fire Kings.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hashtag facts. While I hit my microphone. There we go. You still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like knocked off the shield there for a second. I was like, oh shit!
Okay.
But anyway. So what are all your YouTube goals?
So it's a little everywhere, to be honest, as of right now. So right now I do it as a hobby and just because I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I try to be informative because that was something that I lacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't find a lot of channels that were searching for what I wanted, so it's really just, like I said, I just want to get as far as I can, and I don't care if it takes me a year, 2 years to hit 1,000 subs. I'm just enjoying it, making content that, like I said, I would like to see. Mm-hmm. Personally, and this is something that I just started doing in some of my videos, it was really just I started doing meme videos, mm-hmm. like where you put like memes in, like and that's what I want to see, and that's what I wanted to start doing. So as long as I can keep doing that, I think that's perfect for my channel, and it heads exactly where I want it to be. And I think I'll keep growing. Even if it takes me, like I said, a year or 2 years, I'll be happy to get as far as I can, because YouTube is so much fun for me, and it's just fun sharing content. So.
Okay, so you don't really care if you end up like getting monetized. You're making money making YouTube videos.
Not really. It'd be nice. And I, at the end of the day, I feel like that's a big thing for everyone. I feel like monetization is a goal, yeah. And when I hit it, I'm gonna do it. But it's not like I didn't come into like YouTube with that mindset. I've actually been doing if you look at my older videos, I've literally I have a video all the way from 2016 from when I first started doing this, mm-hmm. And that was actually I'm sure you've heard of the place Pro Play Games.
Yeah, I've heard of them. They do the Pro Play tour and all that stuff.
Yeah, that they were actually they helped me start YouTube a while ago because their locals was right next to my house, mm-hmm. actually, and so. They are really the reason why I started it, and they gave me ideas and stuff. And I was really young, of course, so I was just using my phone. To be honest, the quality of the videos is really bad.
I use this webcam and my cell phone too.
Yeah.
So, to this day, 30 years old, I can't afford a real camera. So I'm like, you know what? Let's make this bitch work.
Oh yeah, I use my phone as well, and I don't usually use my webcam.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm usually just using my mic, and I bought a tripod actually. So I've been taking a lot more in real life deck profiles from my home, but mm-hmm. back in the day, I was posting dueling videos. I posted one where my friends and I were just playing, on Dueling Book. He was playing Black Wings, I was playing Lightsworns. Mm-hmm. A lot of fun.
Lightsworns. That's so you are a man of culture. See,
yeah, I was playing Lightsworns for a very long time, and I was lucky enough during some of the point. My friend Willie, he had a Minerva before it got reprinted. Mm-hmm. And so I was using his Minerva actually in my Infernoid deck, and I was playing Lightsworn cards as well. But I was playing Minerva in there too, and yeah, it was so much fun.
I was Minerva Volley. That card caused me so many headaches because I was like you was a Lightsworn player for the longest time. In fact, my favorite version of the deck was Dragon Ruler Lightsworn. So I literally. When that was my favorite version of the deck, and Then Konami had to hit it because they're mean. That's my adult response. Anyway, then Minerva came out, right? And they were like, "Oh yeah, I saw it in the OCG." I was like, "That's a common over there." Yes, because it was. They printed it as a common in Japan.
Yeah.
And then they made it a prize card for us, and I was like, "Why do you hate me, Konami? Why? First my Dragon Rulers, now I can't have lights on either."
That was one of the most rude things that I've ever seen them do. Like, I really only started playing it when Grass is Greener got released, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, such a good card.
Yeah, I was playing right when on release. I was playing Lair Infernoids until they hit Grass, because that deck, I loved that deck so much. It was so much fun.
Just it's like I'm gonna mill, and then I'm gonna tribute your shit.
Yeah, to this day, my friend Austin still talks to me. I summoned a Nungu 7 times to blow up his board. It worked. It just took 7 times.
Just field nuke.
Yeah, 21 Infernoids vanished for this, but we did it.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Oh man. So I guess now it's time for us to talk about the more real life stuff. Because Yu-Gi-Oh has also been we might be Yu-Gi-Oh players, but we're real people too. So, I guess we'll go for the one that's kind of the one that's more Yu-Gi-Oh related, and then I'll ask you your opinion on the one that isn't. And I know that's the question you've been dreading a little bit, I'm sure. So how has COVID impacted your life personally? I mean, besides the fact that now we all have to walk around with a cloth over our face when we're in public.
Yeah. So I'm blessed that just about none of my friends and none of my family have gotten COVID. Only one of my friends did, but he made a recovery really quickly, which is a blessing.
Okay.
The only major part of my life I can say has been affected is I now work from home, it's really nice, to be honest, because now I don't have to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, really, my life is just about the exact same, to be honest with you. Work got really busy, and I saw my first $6,000 check, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Jaw floor.
Yeah. And the checks were really good. Like when COVID first started, a lot of people were calling in, and I was making. That was actually the reason why I wanted to become an agent again, because I saw on the amount of calls you're getting. So I was like, okay, I went back to it. Now I'm still in that position because the money's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it really hasn't affected my life outside my work life, to be honest. Which is I'm blessed that it's been like that, to be honest.
That's good. That's good. At least, I mean, also I think one of the things that I was going to say on the COVID thing, since you mentioned it, it's a lot of people are realizing that. I think corporations are also realizing, oh wait, we could just have these people work from home. Like I think a lot of corporations really aren't taking advantage of the idea here, because think about the overhead they could cut if they didn't have to pay so much for a building.
Oh yeah,
just work from home.
Like my job, they really didn't want to do it at first, but we have too many employees for us to be like we have to make you guys
3 feet away from each other.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even 3 feet; it's like a foot roughly, maybe a foot and a half. So they at first it was just like veteran agents, and I was there for a while, so I'm considered a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started basically releasing everyone home for the most part.
Okay.
And yeah, to be honest, working from home is amazing. I get to sit in my boxers and just eat, so it's nice.
I would too. I'm not even gonna judge you. I'd absolutely be like, "Yep, that's right."
Yeah.
I ain't even putting on clothes. PJs it is.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot more relaxing, and I say I drive a Mustang, and I go through so much gas a week just driving. It's 50 miles a day roughly, if I do back and forth. So I'm really happy to be working from home.
So yeah, so it's saving you money in a way too.
Yeah, a large amount of money, which is really nice.
That's awesome, man. I mean, let's talk about finding the silver lining, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And another thing is, I'm personally hoping that when this pandemic thing is over, the wearing the mask when you're sick in public sticks around. Because, in Japan, they do that, right?
Yeah.
In China, too. Now, they also do it because their air quality is crap in their cities. But truth be told, the air quality is crap in every city, so...
Yeah, exactly. Pollution is a very large problem as well that we're
Yeah.
not really paying attention to, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, COVID is kind of like taking over everything right now. It's like every
hmm
problem, it's either made all the problems worse that were there beforehand, or it has put everything on the back burner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with
Like,
now COVID's a priority.
yeah. So with COVID being like, because, I mean, that's the omnipresent thing. Like, what's going to kill you faster? COVID? Or, you know, pollution that might give you cancer in 20 years. You know what I mean? Roll your dice. It's
Oh,
literally
it's
that's
tough.
see life in D&D. It's starting to mirror. That's all I'm saying. The police are the empire. What? Who said that?
Who said that?
Thank you. I'm here all night, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I do have one off the cuff question, and this one's a really simple one though. I noticed you have a tank behind you.
Yeah.
You, what's the animal in that tank? I'm just curious.
There are two turtles.
You have pet
Right now-
turtles? That's awesome.
Yeah, I have turtles and dogs. Turtles are actually my favorite animal, and I've had those turtles for like 3 years now, I think.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I was actually planning I had to clean their tank right after this, actually, because I clean it every 4 days or so. Because turtles are they're they're the most boring pet, but they're so I don't know. There's nothing good about them. Like you can't play with them.
You maybe can pet them if they're not skittish.
Yeah, mine are fine. Like I love my turtles. Like I love looking at them and stuff like that. But as an overall, it's like turtles are really filthy creatures, unfortunately too. So their tank is like dirty within like 3 or 4 days after I clean it.
If it makes you feel any better, I have a cat, so little litter box.
Oh yeah, that's everywhere.
And he's such an asshole. I love my cat to death. Which my audience has seen him before. CC, you guys have all seen him, and he's cute, but he's a dick. His favorite thing to do is to get on my desk and knock shit over. And I'm like, you fucking asshole. And he'll do it while I'm sitting at it. Like, I'm sitting here one day and he walks behind my laptop. And I'm like, if you knock that over, I might kill you. And he's just sitting there like, so what does he do? I have a selfie stick on a miniature tripod. It's about yay tall. Right? That's how I do my deck profiles. And he just looks at me and he goes, I'm like, oh yeah. That's just him being spiteful, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna, he's not gonna knock over my laptop, but he's like, you know what? I'll knock this over.
Oh yeah, no. Like I have a puppy. I have two dogs, Mia and Milo. Mia's like this big white pit bull, and Milo's a small black Labrador. Yeah, she's wonderful. Milo is not. He's like a little more than a year old. He's so spiteful. Like he'll pay attention to like every little thing I do. Like I take Mia out first, and I don't put her on a leash. Because she's very obedient, and I usually take her out at night. But what Milo will do is if I take her out first, he'll wait till I get back in. He'll pee on the floor on
Asshole.
purpose. Yeah, like yesterday when I did it, I had left a sandwich on the table. He goes, eats the sandwich, doesn't eat all of it, leaves it near the floor, and then pees next to it. I was so angry. Oh my lord.
You're like, if PETA wouldn't come after me, I'd strangle you.
Yeah. I always say I'm gonna drop kick my dogs, but
they're always empty threats. It's all we can do. It's literally the only way I can punish the cat is I have a squirt bottle. That's like the only thing I have. So when he actually goes too far, like I always squirt him when he gets on the table.
I do like a passive aggressive thing because I learned from my friend that dogs don't like. A lot of people try to do is that they put him in a cage when he's bad. That doesn't work on them because they don't understand why they're in the cage. So my friend says when he does something good, give him a treat. So what I do is when he does something bad, I call both of my dogs next to each other and I give Mia a treat instead of him, and I make him watch.
And he's just sitting there like,
yeah, it's a petty thing.
Petty pets equals petty owner. That's all I'm saying. Be like, you started the petty game. Just remember that.
Yeah.
So, we mentioned it earlier that you and I neither of us are Trump fans. So, what are your thoughts on the recent election?
I'm so okay, and this is gonna sound bad. I didn't like either of the candidates, to be honest.
I didn't like Biden either. I just voted
Yeah,
for him because he was the lesser of two evils.
that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, and I didn't like either of them, but I knew any vote that wasn't for Biden is a vote for Trump, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna do it for the memes and vote for Kanye, but yeah, but I ended up voting for Biden. I was very surprised. Like I'm not gonna. I, I like the election was a roller coaster of emotions. At first, like you saw Biden leading, and then Trump was leading almost the entire time. And then at the end, Biden pulls through. I think he took what was it, PA? He took like Michigan, Wisconsin, and then PA.
Yeah.
And then I'm just thinking like Trump is just acting like a child, like. And it's rough because his own staff and his family's telling him, like, Trump, just calm down. You lost. Just take the L. He's like, no. What I actually saw from one of my conservative...
I'm just picturing him in the Oval Office. Like, no, I totally won this. I don't care what anyone says. I won the election. I want to build a wall around the White House.
No, but one thing he did, and I saw this because my friend showed me the email, and he was even surprised. Trump, and I'm sure it wasn't Trump directly, obviously, but there was an email campaign sent out to everyone subscribed to the Trump campaign, and it was telling them to fight against like Democrats and like with violence and stuff. And I'm like, you're inciting violence because you lost the election. Calm down.
Actually, that's funny you said that because I think I got a text message. Well, because I live in a small town, so. That's why I said I live like east of Fort Worth because like, I'm somewhere around there. But I received this weird... Yeah, there's like a text message that I received that was like something like that. It was like... And they weren't calling for that, but they were telling us to, beware of the globalists. And I was like, oh, this is some Alex Jones shit.
Oh, God.
I can just say her now. Beware of the globalists. That's a plot. They're going to take over the United States. Let me tell you. Everyone get your tinfoil hats as the lizard people. I will eat your ass. I'm sorry. That's another thing he got memed for. He said, I'll eat your ass. I was like, well, somebody's thrilled.
One thing I am hoping for, and, this is just for people who need it. I don't need it, but it would be nice for the most part. When I heard that Trump was, like, basically holding the COVID checks hostage, I was surprised. I couldn't believe he said that. I think that was really the end for him because a lot of conservatives, like that I knew at least, went against him for that because, it's like, if you don't elect me, I'm not going to sign anything for, COVID relief.
Yeah.
And now we basically have to wait till January, I think it's 20th, when Biden gets put in, and we're not going to get anything instantly.
No.
But, there's people who, like, genuinely need it and stuff like that, and, he's just, like, blaming on the Democrats, but they're trying to put in a bunch of stuff in there just to, benefit them instead of, benefiting what people need, I guess is a way to put it. I'm not good at describing stuff, so.
Yeah. I think I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, that's another thing I've noticed, too, is it's definitely been... Like, and I'm like you, I'm in an okay situation, like I have, family to back me up, so I'm not that worried at the moment, but, I'm more worried about catching the virus than anything, but,
yeah,
because, but that's your genetics, it's the only reason why I'm like, because, I'm a tubby guy, man, I'm just saying, I've seen people who are healthier than me get taken down by this thing, and I'm like, I don't. All right, I'm over here drinking soda from Sonic over here. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. No thank you, because, I know it'll happen. My fat ass will be the end of me. I'll be like, I knew it!
I knew it!
It was a cheeseburger that was going to be the death of me. I freaking knew it! Not going to get nothing cool like, mauled by a bear or saving children from a burning building or something. No, I'm going to die because I'm fat and I caught the one disease that kills fat people. Fuck! Son of a bitch! Sorry, my inner Dean Winchester popped out. Son of a bitch!
My inner demon Chester.
My inner Dean Winchester. That's what I said.
Oh, I know. I know. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I was making sure somebody knew that. Supernatural fans are like, hey, I know that reference.
Yeah, I love that show. I got a little bored after like season 12. I'm gonna be honest though, it got too repetitive for me.
I know. You know what? That's the funny thing is, like, I skipped like the first couple seasons. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, back when, like, in the early days when they're still fighting ghosts and things like that, I'm like, I'm not interested. And then they bring the whole angel and demon thing into it, and I'm like, you have my attention.
You had my interest, now you have my attention.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the whole idea of fighting monsters. It's just the monsters they were fighting in the early days just weren't quite as interesting to me. And I still like, if I could, like, if I had the ability, I wish Supernatural had a much bigger budget. Because because I would love to see them fight like vampires and werewolves with, like, you know, and them actually be able to do like vampire and werewolf things.
All of them were just like, you know, I'm a werewolf or I'm a vampire, but I'm, you know, they didn't really do anything special.
Yeah, like they had dragons on their show, and they were just dudes with claws.
Yeah. Like, they could have done so much with it. I enjoyed the show as an overall, but they could have done so much with it, in all honesty.
Like the whole angel and the way they did angels and demons, very fascinating. I liked that. That was cool. Mm-hmm. That was especially like when the lightning would crackle, and then you would see the angel's wings in the shadow. I was like, "Oh, that's neat."
Yeah, that was really cool.
I wish there was an effect for that on like TikTok or something. I would play with that all the time.
Yeah, like for go on.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. You're the star.
No, no, really, with TikTok right now, I really just use it when I'm bored. To be honest, like I just scroll through sometimes. There isn't like, you know, I don't know. I just been focusing so much on like Yugioh for, like, you know, my YouTube channel. I haven't had the chance to really do a lot of editing for TikTok, because when I do like gaming videos, it takes a lot longer to edit those than it does for Yu-Gi-Oh videos, because for Yu-Gi-Oh videos they're a little more straightforward, which is nice, unless if you do more stuff, of course. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's why for me it's been taking so much time out of my like schedule, because like I work 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I get home at like 7, I eat, shower, and then after that is like my free time, and it's usually I'm done. Like I have maybe like an hour or two before I go to bed. Yeah. So I just don't have a lot of time to put towards it. That's why, like with you, like with this, I have like all my free time basically goes towards YouTube right now.
Yeah. Well, in my case, it's the opposite. So because it's just me on TikTok mouthing stuff while wearing vampire fangs. So it literally like 30 minutes, and I can shoot like, you know, 5 to 6 TikToks.
Oh yeah.
And then I can just release them as I go. You know. So it's like literally I spend like maybe an hour for the whole week. You know, yeah. If I was to calculate all the time, the only thing that sucks is that my phone is an iPhone 6 and the battery is shit.
Oh yeah, like that's why I had to get away from iPhones, because the battery was just horrendous.
I like the iPhone for its simplicity. That's why I like it. It's simple. It's easy to use. But I hate that this damn thing is so fragile. Like it literally, and the battery dies, and then like right now. The reason why I have the black and white filter on all my TikToks as the vampire is because I dropped my phone and there's a big giant crack across the camera on the front-facing camera. So I'm like, ow! Why? What deity did I piss off? Was it Obelisk? Was it Slifer?
Or was it Raw?
Was it Raw? Which one did I make angry? So there you go. Am I a drama queen? Maybe a little bit. That's all right. The audience gets a giggle out of it. Well, guys, that's all the questions I've got. Is there anything you want to let the folks watching this know for closing statements?
Not really. Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun talking to you. And I was really looking forward to this. And to be honest, I got super excited when you had first asked me. I was telling my friends and stuff. I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at this!" And I screenshot. I was like, "He wants to do this with me." I was like so excited. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, you've been fun to talk to, brother. We'll have you on here again soon. Don't worry. They're gonna see your masked face again, because you know you're the real superhero today. Because you know he's over there wearing a mask. He's like, I'm going to make sure that Ben 10 doesn't catch the COVID through the screen.
You're dang right. We got to be careful in any situation.
All right, guys, go subscribe to the PillowKing. He's obviously a very friendly gentleman, and he's got, if you like competitive content, he's got it for you. And you know, let's face it, memes are coming, so you guys are gonna want that. And you know, who knows? Maybe if things work out, you might see him play a character in one of my skits. Who knows? You know, we'll see. We'll see what I can talk the PillowKing into.
We'll see.
I'll get the bucket of tar and feathers ready. Don't worry. I mean, I'm sorry. I was only supposed to think that. I'm just kidding.
Well, how do you know I didn't like that already? So.
Oh, he's got jokes. All right, guys, go subscribe to the PillowKing. The link will be in the description below as well. And if he comments on the video, I'll pin him to the top so you guys can find him real fast. Also, he has all his links to all his other social media stuff, and you can find him in like various Facebook groups, Yu-Gi-Oh groups. And I know you're in Team FDK. I know you're in the Dinosaur one. You know,
I'm in just about all of them.
So there you go. Well, you can find him somewhere. Harass him online. All right, guys. I'm Bit 10,000 Yugioh. This is the PillowKing, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.